Hey, are you thinking about doing the Climax mission on Master Difficulty solo? Then you're going to need to watch this video. Lock and load. Let's do this.
Accept the division. This is a war you can't win.
Piece of shit wristwatch.
Freak out, yo.
Banditos, what up? Your boy Tux here, and today I'm going to give you the builds that I use to solo the Climax mission on Master Difficulty. Let me tell you, this one is really tough, and that's because they bring the rain. That's going to force you out of cover and put you constantly on the move. Each checkpoint brings several variables you have to consider. This video is more than just builds. I'm also going to give you some tips on each key checkpoint to help you defeat it. So I ran two different builds to complete this. However, you can default to just one of these. I'll go into more detail on why after I get through the walkthrough. This is the build that I ran for the majority of the mission, basically everything but the boss room. It's leaning on the Pestilence, and the Pestilence stacks are really helping you control the crowd. For the gear set, I'm running Negotiator's Dilemma. So it's got crit chance, crit damage, and then it's going to give you another 40% crit damage after you get your kills. And the whole point of this set is to help you manage the crowd. So you're gonna mark 3 targets and then apply damage to all 3 of them at the same time. So the backpack is key because it's going to push that to 112% damage to those additional marked enemies. Weapon damage and crits throughout. Make sure you have 60% crit chance and then roll everything else to crit damage. Now for the chest piece, I'm running Palisades for 10% armor on kill, and Obliterate, which is more weapon damage every time you crits throughout. I'm running Gunner for ammo and another 10% armor on kill. We now have 20% armor on kill. For the skill, you can do whatever you like. A decoy works nicely, the shield in case you get flanked, and then of course the revive hive. So I'm running Zealot here, and otherwise I have Batter Up, Stepping Stone, and Rupert's Tear. The backup weapon is the lead with crit mods throughout, and then perfect streamline. And then I'm running the quick step for its sports mode, 20% movement speed. Now the gloves are up to you. So I decided to go with the Exodus, which gives you smoke screen every time your armor breaks, and it's got a 40-second cooldown. This is super handy because it prevents you from having to use an armor kit all the time. There's a lot of pressure on your armor kits doing this solo. Not to mention the smoke bomb that makes you disappear allows you to displace if you need to. Otherwise, the overdogs are great. These are a nice default for 30% amplified damage when applied to the right target. Now, I started with the Blacklister knee pads, but at the time they were broken and they were giving me way too much damage. It felt like I was playing on normal mode, so I took them off and just had to run something else, which is why I went with the gloves. If the knee pads are fixed by the time you watch this video, then definitely run them. Okay, for the first checkpoint, you want to make sure you have your pistol in the hand so that you're running extra fast. You're going to go in a counterclockwise rotation from one generator to the next, eliminating them all. And you want to go as fast as possible so that you can end up back here behind this truck where you're going to fight the duration of the checkpoint at. This is just to the left of the entrance, so you're literally making a full rotation around this checkpoint. Expect at least 3 chungas, several waves of warhounds, but I think there's only 1 drone operator. So checkpoint 2 is kind of mean, by the way. So you want to get the snipers out of your way as fast as possible. At the same time, you want to move counterclockwise as fast as you can to make it by basically the tractor, the corner where the tractor is. This is the best cover because they're going to send a marauder at you. And if you stay by the ammo crate, there's no actual cover there, so the marauder has clean shots on you. So as long as you hold this corner down, you'll get it done. Just make sure you prioritize that marauder and get it out of your way as fast as possible. So for this checkpoint, there are 2 terminals you're going to have to interact with and then hold down for a few seconds. It's actually not that difficult, but in the first one that you see here, you need to be aware that there's going to be a wave that spawns sort of behind you to the left. Now, the first few guys on the ground level, they're just a couple of reds. They'll be easy to eliminate. But the guys on the tower are going to be a nuisance. So deal with the tower ASAP. Now, there's going to be some chungas coming at you nice and slow, laying on that fire. But with the builds that I recommend, they're not going to be an issue. So in this checkpoint, there are these things that are going to keep sending drones out at you. So your job is to interact and activate the EMP, just kind of survive the waves. And there's going to be 2 rounds of having to activate the EMP. The best place to hunker down is actually on the bridge to the hovercraft behind these crates, and only come out when you have your immunity phase and to interact with the EMP. Otherwise, just hold it down from here. The best place to fight inside the hovercraft are the crates that are sort of right towards the right when you enter. There's also a spawn door to the right, so beware of that. And in here, they're going to send you several different factions, including the outcasts and the hyenas. So move around if you feel like you're getting overwhelmed on one side, but otherwise try to keep it here as much as possible. This next checkpoint gave me the most anxiety because I had beaten this before, so I knew what to expect. There are multiple waves of enemies, as well as those rocket firing turrets, as well as mortars. I found the best and sort of cheesiest, most conservative strategy was to actually fight it from inside the hovercraft bay. I aggro the enemies to bring them towards the bay, and then I just kind of stick to the corners here, find some cover, and eliminate that wave. If the next wave doesn't come to the bay, then I go fetch them and just run back really fast. Rinse and repeat. Once you clear all the waves, the mortars will stop, except you're gonna have the rocket turrets still active. And they're technically in 2 phases. So you'll eliminate one of them by blowing up its turret. This isn't gonna be hard, but you just have to remember there's 2 phases. One of them will be active. As soon as you eliminate that one, the other one becomes active. Now you just have a few ads to clear. They're gonna be really easy. And now you're in the boss room. Let's check out the build for the boss next. This is the build that I used on the boss phase. Upfront disclosure, you could probably just use this build to clear the entire thing. So this build plays in and out of cover. It's tuned for both, and it's equipped to handle 2 phases of being out of cover. An immunity phase where you can't take any damage while out of cover, thanks to the modifiers, and your vulnerable stage when that modifier is on cooldown, which is Zealot. So when I'm in cover, I'm mostly using the Lud because we're not relying on our skills. So that gives us perfect streamlined, beautiful weapon. The other weapon is the Ouroboros. This thing is extremely fast at almost 2,000 RPMs with a 50 round mag, nice and fast, but it's the reload that I'm really after. 1.37 seconds is lightning fast, almost chaining those mags together. You don't have to have the Ouroboros. You can go with whatever SMG you want, but you just don't want to spend a lot of time reloading. But this Ouroboros worked beautifully. You can acquire it from the Paradise Lost incursion, also from the stretch goals event, which is just about to go live. This is a weapon to have. I'm running 4 pieces of striker for all of that beautiful amplified damage. Put crits everywhere you can, just max out your crit chance, and then protection from elites. So you're gonna want to run 3 protection from elite mods. So most of the enemies you encounter are elites, and those that aren't elites, you're just deleting really fast, so they're not that big of an issue. I felt like the 3 protection from elite mods in combination with my armor on kill and the bonus armor and the armor regen was just very well balanced. So I don't think you need to overdo this. It's going to take away from your time to kill. And this is kind of in a sweet spot right now. So the chest piece is Palisades with crits everywhere, protection from elites, and then obliterate. And that's why you want to make sure you have 60% crit chance. For my striker's mask, I have crit chance and protection from elites. For the gloves, I have crit damage. For the knees, I have crit chance, and the holster is also crit chance. Now the backpack is the trick here. It's the Memento, which is a solo player's dream. This has all 3 cores, of course, protection from elites. It's got short-term buffs and long-term buffs. I know a lot of you guys already know this. Just to give you the gist, it's about the bonus armor and armor regen mostly. We're gonna get 10% bonus armor per blue core. You can run 1 more blue core if you want. I don't recommend doing more than 2 blue cores. Your real threat is coming from the Hellfire above. 10 to 20% bonus armor when you pick up a trophy that lasts for 10 seconds. The rest is gonna be damage buffs. So in this case, I have 6 red cores, so that's gonna be 30% weapon damage thrown into the mix every time I grab a trophy. And then there's the 3% armor regen when you have all of your trophies, which you should. That really helps you after you take damage, because one of the biggest stresses throughout this whole master difficulty climax mission is the pressure it puts on your armor kits. Otherwise, I recommend the shield for when you're out of cover and not invulnerable. And then of course the reviver hive, so you don't have to reset. And for the modifiers, make sure you have zealot. So for stats, I'm 50% crit chance on the assault rifle. We're at the cap for the SMG. The boss room is basically a whole mission on its own. This is what you're up against. You're gonna have 3 mortar turrets that you have to take out, and you have to wait until their weak point is exposed in order to do that. Now, they're not going to present all 3 mortar turrets at the same time. So you're going to have one on the right first, then one on the left, and then one in the center. So you're going to have to take on one at a time. So there's going to be a mortar phase, there'll be adds and mortars, and then the thing will start to overheat, and that's when you'll see its weak point, and you'll want to take it out. It's kind of tanky, might take you 1 or 2 phases to break that weak point. Now, if you can clear the adds really fast, then you'll be doing yourself a big favor. So I try to stick to cover as long as I can. And what I do is I kill many, many enemies and I leave all of the mementos on the field. Now, when I go immune, I come out of cover and clear as many adds as possible. Maybe take out the weak point if it's that time, but if not, I'm just clearing adds. But at the same time, I'm trying to mostly avoid my memento trophies so that I can leave those out there for when I actually need them, when I'm not immune. So try not to pick them up. It's okay to grab them on accident. It's not a big deal. They do give you damage bursts, so grabbing one here and there is not a bad idea. So after the mortar phase is done, then the boss is gonna come out. But I wanna warn you, before that even happens, you're gonna have multiple waves of also warhounds. Now these warhounds will actually go down from EMPs. They're sniper warhounds for the most part, so just get them out of your way as soon as possible. You do not want them cross-firing their sniper turrets at you. Don't have to worry about the boss too much. He's actually not that big of a threat, Anderson. So when you're ready to kill the boss, if it's convenient, just take him out. He's not that big of a deal. He will throw fire grenades at you from time to time. He is an LMG boss, but you got bigger problems, believe me. As just one more FU, they're gonna throw out 2 Marauder drones to deal with. So deal with them as fast as possible. Clear adds. Usually I like to take out the Marauders first, but in this case, I found it was easier to clear all the adds and then just handle the Marauders. They were my final objective. You can die in this room and not have to start the whole mission over. That's the good news about the boss room. So I'll just leave it there for you to discover the rest on your own, but hopefully my tips help. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm Tuxedo Bandido, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on the good stuff I have coming for you. And if you like content like this, be sure to check out the video I have recommended for you right here. If you have anything you would like me to cover, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make things possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be the same without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandido to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Wait, did we just become best friends?